Drake's massive gambling addiction is officially starting to backfire. Over the past 3 years, it's no secret that the biggest rapper on earth has developed quite the concerning gambling habit. With countless clips like these appearing to win crazy money, having turned his whole brand into a big casino ad. While we're about to break down the hidden truth behind these insane bets, Drake's decision to partner with Stake, though, is now dragging him into a new lawsuit nearly every week. And not just Drake, but also the most controversial streamer online.
Drake is back in the headlines in all the wrong ways. This time, he's been named in a new federal class action lawsuit alongside streamer Adin. The main allegation? That money was used from an online gambling site to boost music streams.
If you're like me and are one of Champagne Poppy's 140 million followers on Instagram, then you're definitely familiar with Drake's love for gambling. Aside from numerous posts such as this one, simply showing the bet slip when he wagered $300K on last year's US Open tennis match, honestly, at this point, Drake promotes gambling more than his own music. Like this other time he went viral, when he rented out an entire club just to gamble on Stake. Bro needs serious help. He is clearly addicted, the top comment reads. However, while we'll reveal in a sec the ridiculous amount that Drake is being paid for this partnership, if spamming our feeds with Stake posts wasn't bad enough, as we can see, not only is the one highlight on his page dedicated to the online casino, but he also has Stake tagged right at the top in his bio, even in front of his own brands. And if you look on Twitter, it's literally the first line on there too. Partner, Stake Casino and Sportsbook, which the official court papers here also point out, and one of the many lawsuits he is currently facing. Claiming, quote, on one of the most followed accounts in the world, this kind of visibility elevates Stake far beyond the typical World Wide Web platform. It now becomes a centerpiece of Drake's ecosystem.
And now the two have become almost inseparable at this point. There's like an untold number of posts on Drake's Instagram promoting Stake and online gambling.
I'm always trying to find a way to up the energy, bigger wins.
And the nefariousness of this becomes more apparent the further you dig into it.
When all the dust finally settles and the truth comes out, these lawsuits could potentially cost Drake more than he's ever won. However, in order to understand exactly what he is being sued for, first we have to see how Drake's obsession spiraled this bad to begin with. If you ask Kendrick Lamar on his diss track, Meet the Grams, Kendrick traces Drake's gambling addiction back to his dad, Dennis Graham.
Dear Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator. I'm blaming you for all his gambling addictions.
Like father, like son, Dennis does indeed have a noted betting history, in particular on Raptors games. But, truth is, Drake has been throwing around money long before online betting was a thing. Dropping $200K at casinos in the past like it's nothing, as well as wagering some people's yearly salaries between rap friends like French Montana. Yet, with that being said, everything changed the moment when Stake entered the picture.
Yo, before you go back on stage, you want to do a quick buy?
Yeah, 160.
All right.
Gotta run off through the church. Come on.
18 there.
Oh!
18.
We'll take.
That's good. That felt good though.
Yeah, that was nice.
What do you mean you'll take it? It's 900 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll take it.
Back in 2022, Casino.org reported that Drake had wagered over $1 billion on Stake within only 2 months. Don't get me wrong, Drake is rich, but $1 billion in 2 months? This couldn't possibly be real, right? And the even bigger question we're left with, what even is Stake anyway?
Shout out to Eddie, I guess. Shout out to everybody at Stake, all the employees working hard. We do appreciate you, honestly. All jokes aside, all trolls aside, we do appreciate you.
Co-founded by this guy named Ed Craven, or Eddie. Hailing from Australia, at age 29, Forbes lists Ed Craven as one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the world. Co-founder of the biggest crypto-backed online casino called Stake, which last year, in 2024 alone, Stake generated a whopping $4.7 billion in revenue.
This is Stake's co-founder tweeting about a single day of bets on Stake, $1.75 billion wagered. The dashboard also shows a bad day with over $100 million in losses. Let's pick 98% as the average return to player, which would be conservatively low. That means Stake would be making $35 million per day in net profit. So if you ever wonder why the dudes who take the Stake deals all of a sudden are living in mansions, this is why.
Ever since its launch in 2017, Stake's legal background has been extremely murky. banned in the United States as of this video. Regardless, besides the classic and pretty easy method of using a VPN, as one of Stake's many ways to try and bystep the law, they essentially created a separate clone site for US gamblers. A site that, combined with their illegal dual currency system and what they call Stake Cash, people are quick to point out these various loopholes.
They're saying that Stake is listed as a social casino.
Okay.
So they're telling people like it's not real money.
Okay.
But what you have to do is you have to purchase Stake coins, gamble with that, and then your winnings you can transfer to real money.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they're circumventing some shit.
Despite its shadiness though, thanks to some of the most popular live streamers on the internet, such as Adin Ross and XQC, who both started going live on Stake and gambling in front of their huge audiences, helping the site explode during the COVID lockdown. However, there was one major problem that suddenly arose. In 2022, the top live streaming platform Twitch made their bold announcement to start banning high-stakes gambling, and in particular in their policy, prohibited sites include Stake. Thus, Eddie and the team over at Stake knew they needed to act fast, and they did. The same year that Twitch banned gambling was the same year when Kick.com first went live. Founded to be a direct competitor, and with Ed Craven and Stake providing the backing, combined with the help of this guy, Trainwrecks TV, who, if you don't know, used to be the largest online casino streamer on Twitch before he was forced to leave and move to Canada and try streaming on Kick.
Are you making $1 million a month from Stake? I'm not making $1 million more, I'm making much more. I mean $1 million a month. That was the first month, buddy. You see what I gamble with?
Oh my god.
Yes, we did it, T.
Is that Max? Is that Max?
Yeah, it has
Is that Max? That's
Max.
You
did
it.
Oh, Max. Oh, Max.
Oh my god.
Following Twitch's ban on gambling, again Eddie invested heavily into Kick, but he knew he couldn't do it alone. So Eddie's next idea was sparked. Try to throw millions of dollars at today's biggest live streamers.
I'll never forget this convo I had with Eddie. Eddie says to me, Adin, I have like $140 million for you, Speed, and Kai. You get this shit done, you guys, 140 M's for you guys for the first year. If this shit works, we'll re-sign you guys.
As it played out, Adin Ross would be the only one of the three to switch over from Twitch to Kick. No doubt a risky move, but Adin's brand has always been controversial and decided to take this bag and trust Eddie. However, before they were able to get literally Drake involved, the next massive streamer to join was soon announced, and after hearing how much money his deal was, it's kinda hard to blame him.
Is this a joke? Twitch star signs $100 million deal with rival platform? What? Yo!
As the New York Times reported, Twitch star XQC signed a $100 million streaming deal with Kick. The craziest part being that it wasn't even an exclusive contract. Just for comparison, as wild as this is to say, XQC's new Kick deal is literally more than LeBron James with the Lakers.
You know a streamer named XQC?
No.
So recently there was a streamer that just signed a contract for $100 million.
2 years.
2-year contract.
Come on. A what?
2 years, 100 mil for a streaming site.
What's the streamer?
His name's XQC.
He plays video games.
The blonde guy.
They pay him $50 million just to play video games?
Just to stream on their site, not even exclusively.
What do you think about XQC's deal on, is it Kick?
Yeah, it's Kick.
He's 100 mil, 2-year 100 mil.
Crazy.
Clearly, Stake and Kick have no problems tossing millions at streamers, testing their true morals in the process. But despite unable to convince both Speed from YouTube and Kai Cenat from Twitch, with Kai saying this about his offer.
I read that you turned down $60 million to join Kick. Why did you do that?
It wasn't right, man. I couldn't join Kick at the time because it was like, I got to realize like not all money is good money.
Turning down $60 million a year to remain on Twitch, for Eddie though, that was okay, because he still had one other plan tucked up his sleeve. If he couldn't get the biggest streamer, how about the most streamed rapper on Spotify for 11 consecutive years?
All right, Obs, I got it for you. Ready? Train XQC Adin. Mary Kill.
Sorry, this is for me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know if can we rephrase it? Like,
Yeah, okay.
You would think that with all the money Drake has, he would be satisfied with his bank account and wouldn't even entertain stuff like this. Back in March of 2022, it was reported that Drake had signed a $100 million a year endorsement deal with Stake. $100 million a year. Once again, absolutely mind-blowing money.
It isn't just streamers or influencers taking deals. It's the biggest rapper on the planet.
He signed a reported $100 million deal recently with Stake, the crypto casino, which is wild. There's really no endorsement deals like that anywhere else that hit those kind of numbers.
It was inevitable. Drake and Stake have come together, came this post by Champagne Poppy in 2022. I'm going to be announcing a date for an upcoming live event where I play to win some real money and give it all to you, because what's better than sharing the love with my people? We share the same love for crypto, gambling, and community, said co-founder Eddie Craven on partnering with Drake. We are like-minded fans of the technology and culture at the forefront of this movement. After hearing the details of Drake's deal with Stake being worth $100 million a year, some of you guys might be a little easier to cut Drake some slack. However, when we consider though that this man was already mega rich and already lived in a $100 million Toronto mansion, understandably so, most Drake fans were disappointed to hear this news.
When I heard Drake was involved with Stake, my heart broke, I'm gonna be honest. Because I've been a little Drake fangirl, you know, the Canadian blood running through my veins. And I still love his music. Now I don't love him as much as a person.
Wait, Pokimane diss me for real? I'm rattled. Type Drake reacting in another Kick streamer's chat. Nah, send me the clip where she disses. That shit will break me, boys. I watched the clip. What is she mad about? He later joked. What, is it the braids? Holding the crown for most followed female streamer on Twitch. Like you could guess, their rival platform Kick has also tried to persuade Pokimane over to the dark side. But yet, her reason for turning down millions is very similar to Kai's.
Nope. No, and it's not because I got like $10 million. It's just because I'm good as I am. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that is so cringe to me personally.
Choosing to respect her own morals and not sell out to gambling companies, it's important to note that along with allowing you to bet, Kick.com also developed a different type of reputation very fast, and not a good one. Because due to their much looser rules and restrictions on content, Kick had started birthing viral out-of-pocket clips left and right.
Yo, just back up, just stop. I'm just saying, y'all say yo, just stop. Tell him stop. Oh. Oh no, yo, stop. No, are you? Hey, what's up? Hey, one by one, what's up? Security guard, are you?
Quickly gaining the reputation as home for the most chaotic livestream content, so again to see a big music star like Drake now partnering with them was indeed disappointing. But it was about to get so much worse.
W's in the shot. W's in the shot.
In December of 2023, Drake went live on Kick for the first time ever and announced he was giving away $100,000 in subs, streaming himself gambling alone on Stake for hours. Not only did some call this a new low form, but during his first stream, Drake would even reveal this, his new super cringe alter ego centered around gambling.
Roach brought me the hat that I need for this stream right here. This is my alter ego. Anita Max Win. Anita Max Win.
Showing off these custom Anita Max Win trucker hats he also had made, which is simply just a different way of saying and spelling I need a Max Win, available for $30 in black, blue, pink, and green. As we can see, each hat also came complete with a giant Stake logo here on the side, so you too can show off your love for gambling. To take it a step further, Drake even named his next tour in Australia the Anita Max Win Tour, with this poster to top it off. From here, Drake's gambling streams only became more consistent, along with the money that he was allegedly winning, later linking up with fellow Canadian XQC for a Kick stream in 2024, where the two Stake partners burned through millions in a few hours.
You have to switch this song on. You have to switch this one. We're real Sixers. They're real six-side. We don't listen to that.
Besides both being from Canada, being partnered with Stake is about the only other thing these two seem to have in common. After his awkward stream with Felix, next was an in-person collab with the face of Kick, Adin Ross, where, similar to XQC, all they did was gamble live on Stake together in front of their young and impressionable online audience.
We're glazing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, man, like every time you glaze me, I'm gonna glaze you, bro. Like, you know, you're the best, man, you're the best too.
I don't want to see that clip back at all.
Yeah, they're gonna go crazy on that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Watching these two gamble away what would be life-changing money for anyone else, you honestly get numb to it after a while. However, for Drake, he was clearly addicted to this rush.
Fucking bet on this.
In addition to renting out a whole club, Drake also went viral for this picture too, back when he brought his laptop to play Stake while sitting courtside at the Raptors game. Had an extra seat for my laptop. Due to the pandemic at the time, may as well, he typed while snapping this pic playing roulette. Not to mention, Drake bought this custom watch with an actual functioning roulette table inside, so that no matter where he goes, he can always be playing it no matter what.
I mean, apparently Drake loves roulette so much that he bought a $620,000 watch that he could goddamn play roulette on. I mean, it's kind of cool, but what's the point? You're that desperate to play roulette while you're taking a dump? You gotta be able to do a wager while you're taking a dump. I mean, give it a rest.
Combined with his love for roulette, Drake is clearly still big into sports betting too. Like some of you guys watching maybe are, seeing as the whole sports betting industry here in America has exploded to record-breaking numbers. However, I'd be willing to bet that none of you are wagering as much as Drake has. Or, at least, as much as Drake claims he is betting.
The most unexpected places, and that's what I love about playing Stake is like, you could really just do it anywhere. I've gambled at a restaurant, I've gambled on a plane, gambled at the Raptors game. Obviously, the comfort of my own home is probably the highlight of my gambling experience, for better or worse.
I can't bet against the Swifties, reads this caption by Drake, showing off his insane bet slip on Stake for the 2024 Super Bowl. Bro is casually wagering $1.1 million on football, while I'm over here unemployed. The top comment jokes. As you might remember, the Kansas City Chiefs did indeed go on to win the Super Bowl this year, so Drake's bet cashed for over double. But that isn't always the case. From the NFL to tennis to UFC to Formula 1 racing, and even wagering $750K on a cricket match last year. Or we can't forget it dropping $800K on the OKC Thunder to win Game 6 of last year's NBA Finals. But thanks to my home state squad, the Indiana Pacers, Drake and the Thunder instead took the L, getting blown out by 17.
The magic carpet ride for the Pacers is not over. They'll play for an NBA title on Sunday night in Game 7.
Last year, Drizzy also placed $1.25 million on the Toronto Maple Leafs to win Game 7 of the NHL Conference Finals, only to, again, instead watch them get demolished 6-1 by the Florida Panthers. In fact, today so many of Drake's bets have gone up in flames that a legit conspiracy exists out there called the Drake Curse. Basically, as it sounds, the Drake Curse is the idea that if Drake bets on your team, then you're about to underperform and lose, due to his mythically cursed energy. Something that even he has laughed at himself.
I feel like I don't play sports, so whether I pick the wrong team or not, if I could get out there on the field and win for all your favorite teams, I would. But no, the Drake Curse is funny to me, honestly. First of all, the Raptors won a championship, so nobody can ever talk to me about the Drake Curse. Toronto Raptors are NBA champions, so if there was a Drake Curse, Kawhi would have never hit that shot. We would have never beat the Warriors. There is no Drake Curse, but it's funny though.
With even an entire website here dedicated to tracking his bets, thedrakecurse.com. According to the site, Drake has wagered on a total of 10 different sports. UFC is his most bet on, having laid $13 million over 25 bets, while the NFL is apparently his most profitable. With this being said though, Stake is by far from the only betting platform that has completely blown up these past few years, as thanks to names like FanDuel, DraftKings, or BetMGM to name a few, some of which I receive sponsor offers myself for the channel. Again, these days gambling is everywhere you look, and plenty of the biggest celebrities are cashing in.
Yo, what up? It's LeBron James. DraftKings got our Week 15 NFL picks. Then we got the Sunday slate. 1 o'clock games.
Guys, you know where you can go to get all the action. You go to my partners at DraftKings. Do me a favor, man. Go to the DraftKings app. Look at what I'm betting on. Look at why I'm betting on. Place your bets. All the action is here. DraftKings, Kevin Hart.
10 years ago, to say that LeBron James would be out here promoting gambling would have been crazy. However, while I suppose it is what it is by this point, at least he isn't doing it on the viral and sketchy scale like Drake and Adin Ross. And it's finally catching up to them in court. In June of 2025, Drake took to his story as he says to, quote, share the other side of gambling. Losses are so fried right now. I hope I can post a big win for you all soon, because I'm the only one that has never seen it max. These guys max once a week. Also showing us his Stake account balance for the month, revealing that Drake had apparently wagered $125 million within a span of 30 days, and his total profit was down $8 million.
Some of you think that's brave, but to me, I see that and go, Drake, that is the only side of gambling for most people. If any normal person lost $8 million, their life is over and their legs are broken. You're the only one with another side to this whole thing.
Can we end my roughest gambling year on a good note? Arrived another post by Drake before 2025 was over. I want to max win and share 10% of it with you. However, little did he know, Drake's gambling year was about to get so much rougher.
This morning, a new lawsuit accuses the rapper of glamorizing online gambling while misleading fans, some of them teenagers.
Gambling on stake is on the low.
Drake has a partnership with the online casino Stake. When he posts about placing big bets, the lawsuit says it's not his money, but house money. So any reported losses are part of a marketing tactic designed to draw attention.
To close out 2025, it was officially announced that Drake was being sued in a class action lawsuit over his partnership with Stake. And not just the global music star, but according to court papers here, Adin Ross as well. Arguing first that virtual gambling is illegal in Missouri, where this case was being filed, prior to it then on page 4, and this is the extra important part, stating, quote, the so-called online influencers who post video of themselves gambling on Stake are also liable for violating the law. Stake, in particular, pays Adin Ross and Drake each millions of dollars yearly to engage in promotional gambling, but Drake and Ross do so under deeply fraudulent pretenses. When Ross and Drake gamble online with Stake, they often do not do so with their own money, despite telling the public the opposite. This fact is not shared with the public, they claim, and these acts are deceptive, fraudulent, and violate the law.
The money that he's actually using to gamble during these streams or promotional segments may not even be his, but is instead like house allotted cash that he is given. So of course this guy's like flushing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars down the toilet with glee, you know, for massive hits and big bucks.
Is the money real that they're playing with? The streamers will all say yes. Are the jackpots rigged in their favor? And all the streamers will tell you no. But do you believe them?
Rather than Drake gambling his own millions away, or I guess billions as they tried to say earlier, this lawsuit instead points out the far likely scenario which has been happening this whole time. In exchange for their constant promotion all over social media, such as tagging Stake first in his bio, in exchange Eddie Craven and the team over at Stake have instead probably just been feeding Drake and Adin Ross Stake credits to bet with, and not telling their fans the real truth.
Eddie, you know what? Send me that balance. You owe me. You owe me, kid. You owe me, kid. Pay me my money.
Basically what this means is that, no pun intended, there are actually no stakes for the ridiculous wagers that we see these guys place. They are allegedly playing with house money. But still, as soon as Drake or Adin's massive fanbase see them win millions on Stake, as almost anyone would, they're drawn in themselves and interested how they could do the same, not knowing they're falling in a trap.
Like he's showing tickets and shit, like where he supposedly won. Now you got all the 20-something-year-olds and the 30-year-olds now saying, yo, let me go sign up, let me go sign up, let me go sign up. I look at it like an ad. It is an ad. It's an ad.
For sure.
Members, we are down bad on Stake, so I'm posting this solely for $2 million credit to Spin Slots. Hashtag Anita Max Bad. Drake posted in all caps last March. This time just uploading a Stake logo to his 140 million followers, and not even hiding it, telling us he's doing it so he can get free gambling credits on Stake. Drake's role as Stake's unofficial mascot is quietly coercive. This first Missouri lawsuit added, he is glamorizing the platform to millions of impressionable fans, many of whom treat his wild betting habits like gospel. Now, this specific case against Drake is scheduled to go to trial here in March. However, as we saw, the lawsuits kept flooding in by the week.
So the lawsuit basically claims that both of them misled millions of viewers by appearing to gamble with their own money while allegedly using funds supplied by the company, Stake.
Only days after the first lawsuit, another similar one was filed in New Mexico, accusing Drake, Adin, and Stake of deceptive gambling practices. But, although Drake is yet to speak on any of these accusations, and as you'd expect, a representative for Stake has already denied these claims, Adin Ross, meanwhile, had this to say in response.
Guys, there's nothing to talk about regarding the title, regarding what's going on with Mess. You guys can look into it. I will tell you guys this. Read through the case yourself. It's bullshit.
This lawsuit will go nowhere. LMAO, chimed in XQC on Twitter. This is just pandering to the public perception, and Drake's money is his to keep. If it wasn't, Eddie would just reload him with $5 million every time he hits 0 to keep the show going. $500K for Drake's bet size is nothing. He does $250K buy-ins. Similar to the Missouri suit, only time will tell if this one indeed goes nowhere or not, like XQC claims. But regardless, as the new year of 2026 got underway, rather than Drake's long-awaited new album Iceman, instead, January delivered something different. Another wave of legal trouble. And this time, an even deeper layer was added to the chaos. Attempting to widen the scope more on Stake's shady strategies, on January 2nd, 2026, another new lawsuit was announced. This one, a class action case filed in Virginia, which, in addition to claiming that Drake, Adin, and a third accomplice, believed to be involved, worked with Stake to prey upon consumers. This time, to make things worse, they're also being accused of using Stake as a racketeering conspiracy, and allegedly used proceeds from the online casino in order to, quote, artificially inflate streaming counts for Drake's catalog.
The suit claims that Drake, along with very famous streamer Adin Ross and another person, that they didn't just benefit from allegedly inflated streaming numbers, but there's an allegation that they may have financed those allegedly artificial streams through an online casino.
As they allege, it was this other third guy, whose name I'm not even going to try, who, located in Australia, apparently supervised the coordinated amplification strategies of Drake's music using funds via Stake. According to court papers, the lawsuit reads, the trio of defendants allegedly made use of Stake to directly transfer money between and among themselves using Stake's tipping program, an unlimited and fully unregulated money transmitter. Before then, as we keep reading, at the heart of the scheme, Drake has deployed automated bots and streaming farms to artificially inflate play counts of his music across major platforms such as Spotify. These inauthentic streams were calibrated to manufacture popularity, distort playlists and charts, and overall divert both value and audience attention. It alleges that the scheme dates back to 2022, which was when Drake first partnered with Stake, and remains an ongoing threat of racketeering activity to this day.
And this is where things escalate, because the plaintiffs aren't just alleging deceptive marketing. They are invoking federal RICO law. So basically, they're accusing the defendants in an ongoing enterprise involving illegal gambling, concealed money transfers, and coordinated digital manipulation.
In an emailed statement to Rolling Stone, a representative for Stake called that this case was a, quote, nonsense claim, and added that the company was not concerned. However, while we'll also have to wait and see how this one plays out, since we know the legal process takes time, the even bigger irony here is that, if you guys can remember, right before all of these new lawsuits were filed and Drake started facing fake stream allegations of his own, Drake had actually tried to sue Universal Music Group himself, claiming in his lawsuit that the company had artificially promoted Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us, in various illegal ways, including by paying influencers behind the scenes and not disclosing it, to try and damage his reputation as much as possible.
Drake alleges in the lawsuit that UMG permitted content creators such as Kaisenat, Zia's, No Life Shack, RDC Gaming, and Cartier Family to monetize reactions to Not Like Us without enforcing copyright claims. He claims that the lack of enforcement enabled the spread of defamatory content.
So I'm like, bro, what the is going on, bro? Especially like when we get mentioned, bro, like, it's like, I ain't never met Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I don't know you, you know what I'm saying? So now I gotta treat you accordingly.
Drake's lawsuit was later dismissed by a federal judge who ruled that the allegations were non-actionable opinion, and therefore could not constitute defamation, which in the process only made him look more silly. According to Complex, Drake is planning to appeal this decision in the coming months. 2025 marked Drake's 11th straight year as Spotify's most streamed rapper. And in fact, last year was actually the Six Gods' biggest year on the platform to date. Now, whether you believe any of these streams were fake, the truth is, in 2026, nearly every popular artist in the game is boosting their numbers in one way or another. Some just happen to be more obvious.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's try to beat that nigga. You still got that plug, right? That shit what we did with none of them, you still got that plug?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like everyone in the industry knows is going on.
Which is?
Faking the streams. It's a real thing.
You know what? They don't, but I guarantee that they. I can play it on Spotify real quick. I mean, we'll play it then.
We cannot comment on pending litigation, a spokesperson for Spotify issued regarding the lawsuit. However, Spotify in no way benefits from the industry-wide challenge of artificial streaming. Only time will tell if Drake actually faces legal consequences, but one thing is for sure. The more that he spams us with gambling ads and sells out to Stake, the less this becomes about money. Drake is now gambling with his legacy.